Welcome, Virgo, and happy November. Now, my other channel, Brothers of the Sword Productions, has another video out, and it actually is about the Sword Brothers and their history. I do a complete translation of their seal that's never been done before, and I connect it to Oak Island and the Knights Templar. It's a long video, so follow along with the details, and you'll get some really astounding messages. Now, your reading is about the past. You received the Six of Cups card twice. I use 2 decks in my readings. So it is emphasizing the past, but it doesn't feel like you're carrying around a lot of heavy emotional baggage from the past, though. Kind of feels like you're putting the past more into perspective. Now, the rune that you received is Rade-Ho. The word is Latin for wheel, a radius of a circle. It indicates motion, movement, travel. This could also be spiritual growth, or even a visitor from afar. And with you having these 2 Six of Cups cards, this could be somebody from your past walking back into your life. This is one card that says you just can't cut corners. You have to go the scenic route and learn the lesson that the universe wants you to learn. There's the times in life that you have to make leaps of faith, and this card is one that indicates that. Now, this can also be about arrivals, departures, reunions. As I had mentioned, there's going to be those aha moments or an event where all of a sudden, with this reflection, you're going to connect all the dots. The Minciati card that you received from the deck that I put together is Scorpio. So it's saying here there's going to be some intensity involved in it, in what happens in this November. But right now, Venus is in Scorpio, and it's retrograde until November 16th. And this is forcing you to think back in your past, and actually bringing a lot of things from your past into the present. There's been this attitude about taking no prisoners in your relationships, and you're going to have to be careful with that type of intensity. I think a lot of you are trying to figure out if you're happy or not about your relationships. But the overall energy cards say, yeah, you are. It's pleasant enough anyway for you, for most people. Not all. But the overall energy cards are the Six of Cups, the card of past and recollection. And the card next to it is the Nine of Pentacles. I like this card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It means you're all put together. You've been through a lot of things. You've made the mistakes, and you've recovered from them. You've accepted them. The trials and tribulations are over, and you're feeling more comfortable with yourself. Comfortable in your own skin, as they say. There's fulfillment and some satisfaction involved in where you're at right now. But the 9 number is a card of completion, too. So it's saying that you're coming back around, finishing a loop that happened in your past because the Six of Cups card is there. Maybe you will make some resolutions. Something might have ended but not had finished in a past life or when you were younger. That now you have the maturity now to figure out why it had been broken, and now you can fix yourself and not have this emotional baggage carried around. You're feeling better about a lot of things because the cards on the left for what you know, you receive the Wish card, the 9 of Cups, and the King of Cups with it. Now, the 9 of Cups is connected to the put-together card of 9 of Pentacles up above there. You made some wishes, and some wishes did come true, or you're going to be making some, and they will. And the reason they'll come true is because you have the maturity of the King of Cups. He reminds you to master your emotions. Don't wig out and flip over the deep end. And if you had been hurt in the past, emotionally, this King of Cups is saying you're healing. Now, the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles are both fulfillment and happiness cards. They're nice cards to get together. But now you're coming to some type of completion and you're moving on. Rade-Ho says you're moving on. And the cards in the center of the reading for what is or can be yours, you receive the 3 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. The Six of Swords saying is you're moving on from something There was some turbulent waters, and now you're going to more tranquil waters. You're finding a seamless transition from some of the problems that you had in the past to the present. You figured some things out. You're no longer depressed from the past or anxious for the future. You found some peace somewhere. And the Three of Wands is another movement card. You're launching some ideas or going forward with some things or just being able to go forward. The doors are swinging open now that you're not feeling trammeled, chained by some old things in your past. 3 is the number of creation, 2 forces that make a third force. So there's going to be some inspiration and some creativity about all this. You know, you're just not thinking in black and white right now, or going from A to B either. You know, you're going to take the scenic route and start enjoying your life. Radho even reminds you that it's not the destination, but it's enjoying the journey while you're going through it. But needless to say, there's going to be some arrivals, departures, and reunions in your life. Because the cards next to that for yourself or self-awareness, you receive the Queen of Swords and the Six of Cups. So here that's reunion card is there again. Now the Queen is holding up the Sword of Truth saying, do you see this? And you nod yes, and do you want it again? No, you don't want to go through the heavy emotional baggage again. She's saying to not use your emotions to make decisions. She's saying to look at things the way they really are. It might not be as aesthetic as you'd like it to be, but you can't live in your imagination either and idolize and idealize things that happened in your past, because it really is. A lot of times it just wasn't that way. We like to remember things pleasantly and not remember the bad things in our past. But just make sure that you're not in some imaginary land when you're looking at your past. We benefit from looking back in our past as long as we're living in the present and looking forward to a peaceful future. Now your first future card is the Four of Pentacles. And this can say that you have satisfaction financially, maybe even some emotional satisfaction, health-wise anyway. But this card can also indicate that you had hung on to some things that you shouldn't, and you might come back in your future and do that. But there you have the King of Swords reminding you again with the Sword of Truth that you can't hang on to things anymore from your past that aren't serving you anymore. And up above the King, you have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card about give and take. It's a card about finding balance. You might be in a position now to help someone else. And if you do, do it without desire. Don't expect something back. You're giving a gift. A gift is something that maybe you really liked a lot and wanted, but you gave it to somebody else so they can enjoy it, so you can enjoy watching them enjoy it. It might sound complicated, but yeah, giving and receiving is very complicated. A lot of times people are exploited if they're generous. And a lot of times people take too much and give too little back. Now next to the Six of Pentacles, you have the Sun card, the card of prosperity, shining a light on things, success, victory. That is if you don't allow people to take from you, because you have the Seven of Swords under the Sun card. And this is the Charlatan card. Or it can say you lost something or something got lost in the translation. But your last card is the Magician. He's bringing down energy from the cosmos to make it a reality here on Earth for you. He's saying, too, that you have all the tools that you need to be successful. You just have to make sure that you utilize them appropriately. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.